Every month, many people wonder where their money went. The truth is, spending less doesn't require extreme sacrifices or a complicated budget. Small, consistent habits can quietly transform your finances and give you peace of mind. By making a few simple changes in your daily routine, you can reduce unnecessary expenses and feel more in control of your money. The first habit is to pause before every purchase. Taking even a few minutes to ask yourself whether you truly need something can prevent impulsive spending. Often, the urge to buy fades quickly, and that pause alone can save you a surprising amount over time. Another powerful habit is tracking where your money goes. You don't need fancy software, just writing down daily expenses creates awareness. When you see your spending clearly, it becomes easier to spot patterns and cut back on areas that don't bring real value to your life. Planning meals ahead is another simple change that can dramatically lower monthly costs. When you decide what you'll eat before going to the store, you avoid impulse buys and reduce food waste. Cooking at home more often also saves money while improving your health. Learning to distinguish between wants and needs is equally important. Needs support your basic well-being, while wants are often driven by emotion or convenience. When you recognize the difference, you gain the power to choose wisely instead of spending automatically. Unsubscribing from unused services is a habit many people overlook. Small monthly charges for apps, streaming platforms, or memberships can quietly drain your budget. Reviewing and canceling what you no longer use can free up money instantly. Using cash or a fixed spending limit for certain categories can also be effective. When you physically see money leaving your hands or know there's a clear limit, you become more mindful and less likely to overspend. Another helpful habit is comparing prices before buying. A few minutes spent checking alternatives, discounts, or generic brands can lead to consistent savings without sacrificing quality. Avoiding shopping when emotions are high is also crucial. Stress, boredom, or sadness often lead to unnecessary purchases. Replacing emotional spending with healthier habits like walking, reading, or talking to a friend protects both your wallet and your well-being. Setting a small, realistic savings goal each month creates motivation. When saving becomes automatic, spending naturally becomes more intentional. Even modest amounts add up and reduce the urge to spend unnecessarily. Finally, reviewing your finances at the end of each month ties everything together. Reflecting on what worked and what didn't helps you improve steadily without feeling overwhelmed. Over time, these simple habits become second nature, helping you spend less every month while still enjoying life with confidence and clarity. Pausing and thinking before every purchase is one of the most powerful habits you can develop to spend less each month, yet it is also one of the simplest. Most unnecessary spending happens in moments of impulse, when emotions, convenience, or external influence take control instead of conscious choice. By creating a short pause between desire and action, you give yourself the opportunity to regain control over your money. This pause does not need to be long. Even a few seconds are enough to ask yourself honest questions. Do I really need this right now? Will this purchase improve my life in a meaningful way, or is it just a temporary feeling? Often, the excitement that pushed you toward buying fades quickly once you stop and reflect. Many people are surprised to discover that the urge to buy disappears almost entirely when they delay the decision. Thinking before purchasing also helps you recognize emotional spending, stress, boredom, loneliness, or even celebration can trigger buying habits that have little to do with actual needs. When you pause, you become aware of your emotional state and can choose a healthier response. Instead of shopping, you might decide to take a walk, drink some water, or simply wait until your emotions settle. This awareness alone can save a significant amount of money over time. Another benefit of pausing is that it encourages comparison and evaluation. When you slow down, you are more likely to consider alternatives, search for better prices, or decide to wait for a discount. Many purchases feel urgent in the moment, but very few truly are. Giving yourself time often leads to better decisions and lower costs. This habit also builds long-term discipline. Each time you pause and choose not to buy, you strengthen your ability to manage money intentionally. Over weeks and months, these small decisions add up to noticeable savings without making you feel deprived. You are not saying no to everything. You are saying yes only to what truly matters. Most importantly, pausing before a purchase shifts your mindset from reactive to mindful. You stop letting advertisements, trends, or impulses dictate your spending. Instead, you become the one in control, deciding where your money goes and why. This simple habit, practiced consistently, can quietly transform your financial life, reduce regret, and help you spend less every month while feeling more confident and calm about your choices. Tracking your daily spending habits is one of the most effective ways to reduce unnecessary expenses because you cannot control what you are not aware of. Many people feel they don't spend much, yet their money seems to disappear by the end of the month. This happens because small, frequent expenses often go unnoticed. When you begin tracking every purchase, even the smallest ones, your financial behavior becomes clear and measurable. This habit does not require complex tools or advanced budgeting skills. A simple notebook, a notes app on your phone, or a basic spreadsheet is enough. The key is consistency. Writing down what you spend each day creates a clear picture of where your money actually goes, not where you think it goes. This awareness alone often leads to immediate improvement because you naturally become more careful once you see your habits in writing. Daily tracking also helps identify spending patterns. You may notice that most of your money goes toward eating out, online shopping, or convenience purchases. These patterns are easy to ignore until they are clearly visible. Once you recognize them, you gain the power to make intentional changes. Without feeling overwhelmed, you can decide which expenses truly add value and which ones can be reduced or replaced with better alternatives. Another important benefit of tracking is that it reduces guilt and stress around money. Instead of guessing or worrying, you know exactly where you stand. This clarity brings confidence and allows you to make calm, informed decisions rather than emotional ones. When you see progress, even small improvements feel motivating and encourage you to continue. Tracking your spending also strengthens self-discipline over time. Each recorded expense becomes a moment of reflection. You begin to pause before spending because you know you will write it down later. This naturally reduces impulse buying and promotes mindful choices. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is honesty, not restriction. Most importantly, daily tracking turns money management into a simple habit rather than a burden. Over time, it becomes routine and effortless as weeks turn into months. This habit builds strong financial awareness, helps you spend less consistently, and gives you a sense of control and peace with your money without sacrificing enjoyment or comfort in your daily life. Planning ahead to avoid unnecessary costs is a habit that quietly protects your money without making you feel restricted. Many extra expenses happen not because things are expensive, but because decisions are made at the last minute. When you don't plan, convenience takes over, and convenience almost always costs more. By thinking ahead, you give yourself time to choose smarter and cheaper options. One of the clearest examples of this habit is planning meals and daily routines in advance. When meals are not planned, people often rely on takeout, fast food, or impulse grocery shopping. These choices feel easy in the moment, but they add up quickly. Planning what you will eat, even a few days ahead, helps you shop with purpose, reduce food waste, and avoid unnecessary spending. It also saves time and mental energy during busy days. Planning ahead also applies to purchases beyond food. When you anticipate future needs, you avoid emergency buying, which often leads to higher prices and poor choices, whether it's clothing, household items, or travel. Giving yourself time allows you to wait for discounts, compare options, and buy only what truly fits your needs. Most things are not urgent, but without planning, they feel urgent. This habit also helps prevent duplicate or forgotten purchases. When you plan, you are more aware of what you already have and what you actually need. This reduces buying the same item twice or purchasing things that sit unused. Organization and planning go hand in hand, and both contribute to spending less naturally. Another benefit of planning ahead is reduced stress. Financial stress often comes from feeling rushed or unprepared. When you plan, you feel calmer and more confident about your decisions. This emotional stability makes it easier to resist impulse spending and stick to your intentions. Over time, planning becomes a form of self-respect. You are choosing to value your future comfort over short-term convenience. This habit does not require perfection or rigid schedules. Even simple planning, done consistently, leads to fewer unnecessary costs, better decisions, and steady monthly savings, all while allowing you to live comfortably and with greater peace of mind. Cutting hidden expenses and unused subscriptions is one of the fastest ways to reduce monthly spending because it removes costs that often provide little or no real value. Many people are unaware of how much money quietly leaves their account through small, recurring charges. These expenses feel insignificant individually, but together they can drain a large portion of your income over time. Subscriptions are especially dangerous because they are designed to be forgotten. Free trials turn into paid plans, apps renew automatically, and memberships continue long after they stop being useful. When you take time to review your bank statements or payment history, you often discover charges you barely remember signing up for. Simply identifying these expenses can feel like finding lost money. Cutting these costs does not mean giving up everything you enjoy. It means being intentional. Ask yourself whether each subscription genuinely improves your life or supports your goals. If you haven't used a service in weeks or months, it is likely not worth keeping. Even cancelling just a few small subscriptions can result in noticeable monthly savings without any sense of sacrifice. Hidden expenses also appear in daily habits such as bank fees, delivery charges, late fees, and convenience costs. These often happen automatically or go unnoticed because they seem unavoidable. However, many of them can be reduced or eliminated by small changes, such as choosing a different account, paying bills on time, or picking up items yourself instead of paying extra for delivery. This habit also encourages financial awareness and responsibility. When you actively remove unnecessary expenses, you feel more in control of your money. That sense of control reduces anxiety and builds confidence in your ability to manage finances wisely. You stop feeling like money is slipping away without explanation. Over time, cutting hidden expenses becomes empowering. Each cancelled charge is a decision to prioritize what truly matters. The money you save can be redirected toward savings, essentials, or experiences that bring real satisfaction. By regularly reviewing and trimming these silent costs, you create a cleaner, more efficient financial life and naturally spend less every month without changing your lifestyle in a dramatic way. Building awareness and reviewing your monthly spending is the habit that brings all other money-saving efforts together. Without regular reflection, even good habits can slowly fade, and old patterns can return. Taking time to look back at how you spent your money each month helps you understand your behavior, learn from your choices, and make steady improvements without pressure or guilt. Monthly review does not mean judging yourself or feeling disappointed about mistakes. It is simply about observing the facts. When you calmly look at your expenses, you begin to see where your money truly went and why. This awareness helps you connect spending decisions with real outcomes, making future choices clearer and more intentional. This habit also highlights progress. Many people focus only on what they did wrong, but a review shows what you did right as well. Seeing reduced spending in certain areas or consistent savings builds motivation and confidence. Even small improvements deserve recognition because they show that change is happening. Reviewing monthly spending helps identify areas that need adjustment. Some expenses may be higher than expected, while others might be lower. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can calmly decide what to improve next month. This gentle correction keeps you moving forward without feeling overwhelmed or restricted. Another powerful benefit is that awareness reduces impulse spending naturally. When you know you will review your spending later, you become more mindful in the moment. Each purchase feels more intentional because you understand its long-term impact. This mindset shift makes it easier to say no to unnecessary expenses without feeling deprived. Over time, this habit strengthens your relationship with money. You stop seeing finances as stressful or confusing and begin to see them as manageable and predictable. Regular monthly reviews create clarity, confidence, and control. With awareness as your foundation, spending less becomes a natural result, not a struggle, helping you build a stable and peaceful financial life month after month.